Hello everybody and welcome to the League of Europe. We are here today for Division 3 Round 4 at Monza, and I'm once again joined by Verstappen.
Yeah, hello everyone indeed. Welcome to League of Europe here, and we're here for a very exciting race, Temple of Speed, and let's see how this is going to fare out. Full grid, I always love to see that. Love reliable drivers in this division, which we're very happy with. Unfortunately an Abel from Ghost Recon, but we'll gloss over that for the time being.
Yeah, a couple of reserves being Slayer and Jarv. Being both Aston Martins, isn't it? Both Aston Martin full-time drivers not able to show today, but we do still have full grid regardless. So we will get on in with qualifying at what is looking to be a cloudy quali.
Yeah, so far cloudy. Italy not having the best of weather around these times of the year, I guess. Just run you through, because obviously last week you weren't there. We'll run you through a little bit of the results of last week. Initially, NSX Bosnia actually won the race. However, after a penalty removal from the stewards for Kamke, he has ended up getting the win, and he's now leading the championship by 16 points over MCR, 85 versus 69. And then behind it's Bosnia now on 47. So he gutted that he didn't get that win in the end, but that's unfortunate. He's gonna have to try again. Then the two Alpines on 44 and 42, Steban just ahead of Mats, with Ryan being 34, James at 32, Slayer 26, and then rounding out the top 10 we have Major Falcon and Flip Namstram both on 23 points. So still looking tight at the top, but Kamke obviously having a very good start to the season. Let's see if he can continue that here today.
Yeah, as James had mentioned in the track, dry both quali and race. So we've got a bit of cloud cover, but no rain to come from the clouds, which you might not believe if you were to look and see the three drivers currently using the intermediate tyres. But if you want to take your sighting lap, then absolutely go ahead. Although it is the two Alfa Romeos who are first drivers round on track, ultimately Nova's teammate Ibo. So we'll see what they can do. I think it was a 1:18.5 was the Division 1 time. Those of you who were watching Division 1 would have seen that Verstappen just got a P2 and I just got done commentating with that. So both of us are still slightly adrenalined up, I would imagine. But here we go. Ultimate coming round now to start his first flying lap. If you want to guide us through the first flyer.
Yeah, Ultimate just coming out of Parabolica, or the Curve Alboreto as it's called nowadays. DRS open to reach a top speed of what will be over 350 kilometers an hour, heading down in towards the first chicane, 355 actually, braking all the way down into second gear, around 80 kilometers minimum speed, and for turn 2, and now accelerate out of it. Nice and cleanly done there for the Finn here, from Mayo. And for Curva Grande, obviously very easy flat. And now down towards the second terrain, De La Roja, and 27 flat first sector split. We'll see how that's going to fare out. Taking a lot of the curve off the left hand side, right hand side leaving it there. That's all fine. They're quite dangerous curves, as we had for Lesmo 1 and 2. Actually very low downforce, so these corners aren't going to be as easy as they would on other tracks, but they're done quite nicely there by Ultimate of Mr. Burrow. And now DRS open for the second time here. And I'm wondering if there's rain coming, because it's looking very, very cloudy. Going down into Ascari 5th gear. A lot of commitment there by the Finn. Very nicely done, actually. And we're going to see if he's going to put in a solid time. Getting a little bit of a slipstream from the Mercedes, who's nearly at a standstill. And heading down into Parabolica just before the 50. You want to brake. Accelerating out of that quite nicely. And this should be a solid lap, I think, to start off with. Let's see how it's going to fare out. A 1:20.913. I think we're going to see a little bit better than that, but not too bad, and certainly a clean one there.
Yeah, a good way to start us out. His teammate must have made a mistake somewhere, as nearly 4 seconds back is Ibo. The two Alfa Romeo drivers currently not doing particularly well in the standings. P22 and P23. Ultimate with a P15 finish, and Ibo with a P14. But wow, to the next man, almost getting slightly blocked here by the driver ahead. That's the Ferrari, not sure which, is Axel, 20.4 there. Wouter though, 19.6. So the two AlphaTauri drivers ahead of the Alfa Romeos.
I should mention that Wouter has taken over the full-time seat from Ghost72 UK, who left the league. As Ryan B's put in a lap on Inters, 23.3, as well as James at 23.4, so slight contention there between the two, but obviously not quite relevant as of right now. But yeah, Mr. Wouter has now gone full time in the AlphaTauri because of Ghost 72 UK leaving. So, and
Yeah,
I think
ooh,
it's a
big
solid
mistake here by
way.
Flip. Sorry to interrupt you, but Flip, big mistake in Parabolica there, going off, just avoiding losing his front wing on the wall, but certainly enough to kill his lap time. His teammate though, Bosnia, up into P2 at 20.4, but a long way back from Mr. Wouter, who seems to be remarkably strong here.
Yeah, 19.6 is a very solid time to start off with, it has to be said, and I think he's looking good to maybe try and get for pole position, at least fight for it. Gonna have to see about that. Looking around, I think Jav towards the start of a lap, one of the Alpines as well. A lot of drivers should go around. I think Heino Wark is towards the end of a lap, coming from Parabolica. 53.7 middle sector split, and he's going to come across the line here. The Greek driver, 120.5, is going to put him into P4, about a tenth behind his fellow countryman, Axel.
Yeah, nicely done there, Slayer. The next man, the Aston Martin. Where's he going to end up? He looks pretty strong here, actually. I think he might just be missing out on the 119s. I was about to say he was going to be in them, but certainly a P2, nothing to be ashamed of. A very strong lap there from Slayer.
Yeah.
The reserve showing that just because he's been called up fairly last minute, he's still able to perform.
Yeah, no, Slayer's had a very good start to the season, actually, compared to what I'm used from him, as Matt gets himself into P5. Last season in Division 4 he wasn't overly visible, but he seemingly picked up the pace quite a bit and showed himself a little bit more here and there. I'm excited to see if he can fight at the front in this race. We have a little bit of a train here going on into Parabolica. There's an Aston Martin with Jav and a Steban going around as well.
Steven's not going to be happy with that
Jav
one.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy. Jav not quite paying attention. I think,
and it's a strong lap as well. That might have been a professional pole without that.
Yeah, I don't know if it cost him about 4 tenths, but definitely a couple. Yeah, that was not too great on the awareness side for Jav.
Yeah, and actually nearly just went into the back of him as well.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, Sinful, he's on the inters actually, so no bother looking at him, to be honest. We've seen Hars for Swip here. That means he's gone into the harder tire allocation. Probably a choice. Let's just see if that's going to pay off for him in the race potentially. In the meantime, I think Ultimate hasn't gone to P6 because I don't think he was up there before. So 20.4, get himself nice cozy into the top 10 so far.
Yeah, but Ultimate's fastest lap was set on a 3-lap old softs, so it would have been a more recent one. It was interesting. He Swip is using the hards, given its mandatory 2-stop. You think drivers were pushing 2 softs and a medium, or 2 mediums and a soft seemed to be the way to go in the Division 1 race. But why am I on board with Sinful? He's on inters. Let's find a driver on a good flyer of a lap. I think we've got a whole lot of in-laps and a whole lot of out-laps at the moment. Next to start their lap is going to be... Yeah, Flip.
Yeah, coming out of Parabolica, let's see what he can do. A driver, on this day, can be very quick, but maybe lacks a little bit of the consistency to really fight it out at the front. DRS is open this time, still low straight line speeds. I'm seeing 355 once again there, so pretty similar to what Ultimate had earlier on. So obviously can be important going into the race later on.
Yeah,
a bit deep into turn 1, but not too bad there.
I was about to say, strongest result of the season so far is a P7 that he got at Silverstone, also picking up a P8 the round after last week at Sandford. But yeah, no big results yet from Flip, and he's a driver who's shown some pace. I seem to remember the pre-season he did pretty strongly there, showing a purple first sector, but of course different setups. You've got a low downforce setup, low wings, you're going to have a very strong first sector. But also that's very good when it comes to the race, much harder to overtake you once you've got that lead. Tricky to pass in the corners because it's hard to get through, tricky to pass in the straights because you're such a fast car that just is very, very tricky to get past, especially with the ERS assistance. Another purple sector showing there. Mr. Welsh actually a fair way ahead. He's got 4 tenths over the rest of the field, so Flip can put himself up amongst those names. And we've got a few standout drivers showing that they want to put themselves out there for the race win.
Coming for Parabolica last time out, it didn't go that well. This time a lot better. I'm gonna have to see if he can get himself up the timesheets. P4 for now, solid enough. 20 flat. been keeping an eye on. Major Falcon, who was at 10th up on Flip Namstrom through the Sector 2 split. Haven't called it from there, so we're going to see as he comes out of Parabolica if he can improve compared to what he was doing. And across the line the German goes. Good last sector and a 19.7. It's going to bring him into P2.
Nice from him. MCR, the next driver to the line, and he's provisional pole by 6 thousandths. He's got Mr. Wow to beat. Straight to the front for him. And yeah, Ryan B actually slotting in just behind those top 3 drivers. 38 thousandths separating them. Crack slots in amongst them. My goodness, look at the gap between these top 4.
Yeah, top 4 is 38 thousandths to be exact. We saw certain gaps like that in Division 1 as well. But that just shows how little difference you can make with the little amount of corners you have. Seeing James do a lap on the mediums for whatever reason. I guess 20.6 and P14 could show some promise towards the second half when he actually goes on the softs. I hope we can see that from him. Looking around, who is the next on a lap? One of the Ferraris towards the end of one.
Don't know about the next, but Cam K, our championship leader and our 2-time race winner so far this season, bearing in mind we've only had 3 rounds, is on a lap. He's about to start the 3rd sector now towards Ascari. So driver to the line, that's harrying up into P5 and 19.7 there. Don't know if the other Ferrari of Energetic is about to cross the line. I would suspect an in-lap given the tyre age. No, Energetic, P7 on 4-lap on softs. My goodness, those softs belong in a care home, yet he's dragged them all the way up to P7.
Yeah, no, that's a very good lap from some with all the tyres. Cam K though is going to pull that off, and a 19.5. Half-tenth ahead of MCR so far, but it's so close. And I think even anyone at top 11 and 12, and then I think James and Matt still have potential there as well, definitely, to get themselves up there. It's a very close qualifying so far, and I'm excited to see how that's going to end.
Yeah, looking some very strong times so far when you got that top 6, well, top 7 drivers all mighty close together. James to the line, no, never mind, James to the pit entry. I'm trying to see who we've got going round. Ibo is on a lap. I don't know if this is a fast lap. Seems to be a little way off pace, though he might still improve actually over his last one. I don't know if he's struggling with this track or if it's just...
I think it's just the general pace of him is, you know, as normal, a little bit off, but he enjoys being here, so
oh yeah,
that's all good.
Driver highest points finish, as we mentioned, was P14, but kind of everyone's got to start somewhere. We've all been that person at the back of the grid at some point or another.
Currently he's not even last, so definitely not the worst right now. Bosnia's got himself up into P9 and 19.9. As said, 2nd place last time out. Very good pace after a safety car was called out around lap 10, if I remember correctly. We had some different strategy options here. There are a few issues for certain people, but he did very well to get himself up there. I think a few mistakes might have cost him the win in the end, though, to try and actually get Cam K on track, which did not happen.
Is Ibo nearly off into the wall? I don't know how he's managed to save that one. 6/10 down, sent it into Ascari, nearly went once, nearly went twice, but in the end does keep his car pointing forward with all 4 tyres still attached. Don't know if we have anyone currently on a flyer.
He was a little bit down this time, but obviously that incident with Jav in the last sector. He's going to bring him now up into P6, so yeah, definitely some time maybe left if you can get back into the pits in time. I think he should be able to. Still got something in there, but that was a bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. At least looking on board with Steban. I can't imagine how that looked on board with the Alfa Romeo. But
I think Mr. Welter just starting his lap off. I will hop on board with him as he goes a little deep actually into this first chicane, practicing for any overtakes around the outside. But here we go towards Curva Grande. Got to hug that inside, minimise the distance you've got to take on the track. First sector, just shy 200ths up, that's enough for P2. So that group's so close together. I mean, P2 to P6, crazy how close they are. Just over half a tenth separating those 5 drivers. Comes through the two Lesmos corners. Is that slipstream assistance ahead, or is that just a car to potentially get in the way? Hopefully that driver knows, moves out the way. The driver is moving out the way. That is nice to see his flip retiring from the session.
Up.
Is that a non-track? I think it is. I think he's crashed out the second Lesmos.
Yeah, exit Lesmo. I think he's dropped it into the wall. Mr. Wouter nearly 3/10 up though, and I think that Ascari looked pretty solid. It's just Parabolica now. A little bit deep, 6th gear is an interesting choice, but it looks like he kept enough speed to get himself into pole position here, I reckon. And 19.2 is definitely good enough for now.
Yeah, so Mystics are on board there with Mr. Wouter, but the second Lesmo is coming out this corner. The next one James Head's get into. Flip, lost his car, did a little flip, I assume went off into the wall. I don't know if it would have been the left or the right wall. That is a shame for him. And
Jav is coming around the last corner as well, half a second up, so he can get himself a little bit higher up. And 20.3 into P13, not too shabby there for the Aston Martins. I think they're going to be both done though for this session, because can't get back into the pits in time, get another set on, get an out lap. That's going to be a bit long. So those guys are done. I think Mr. Wouter is done as well, but obviously he can be very happy with that lap.
Yeah, some of the drivers actually expressing their frustration in the Div 3 paddock about the blocking going on. James Head just starting his lap here, but we'll hop board. Is anyone on a lap, or are both Aston Martins on and in lap? Slayer not improving, Jav.
Yeah, they've just set time, so they will not be improving. So I think James is indeed the first one. He's someone that should be higher up, but going onto the grass is not going to help there, but you'd imagine. The only exit there, trying to minimize the driving line there. 3/10 up though, so definitely a lot of potential here. As we said, that time on the mediums, so I reckon there's a lot of time still in that for him. Heading to Lesmo 1, attacking the inside quite a lot. Nicely done for the Mercedes, and into Lesmo 2, 5th gear, hold that, curb on the exit, gonna be a bit dangerous. But he just navigate that quite nicely. One of the Red Bulls in the way, not too much, but it's not quite ideal. McLaren as well, 4/10 up for the Mercedes. See what the last sector is going to bring for him. Not too much apex speeds for there, but could be worse, I think. So McLaren gets out of the way.
Hello.
Not sure why he was weaving there. I don't think he was too happy with it, but I don't think the McLaren did much wrong. As James is accelerating out of Parabolica, and he's going to cross the line, get himself a better time. And 20 flat though, only P12 for now. Jav is also retired. I think that was in the pits.
Right, Matt's then the next man, currently P17, moves himself up into P14, and oh hello, into the wall there. This the man currently P5 in the title. Got himself to 3rd places and then did not race last week, so he's very consistent so far. Every time he's shown up, he's got a P3. Let's see if he can replicate that. Qualifying at the moment, not suggesting that he will. We will see if he can make any moves further up the order. So, anyone coming to the line soon?
Just starting their laps, I think. That's the last one. So it'll be the Ferrari of Energetics, who's slightly up on his sign. And Ascari there looked not too bad, I think, for the Dutchman. Seaman currently up at P7. Let's see if he can get himself close or even beyond that. Breaking into Parabolica, 5th gear, a little bit on the grass even there on the inside, but shouldn't cost him too much time. He is going to take it as tight as possible to the line. Then 19.7, just ahead of his teammate actually.
Gets a fair few of the drivers there, though missing out on that kind of very close together batch. Ryan B, the next driver, how much can he improve? He was P5, he's now P2, provisionally on the front row there for Ryan B. 19.5, his ultimate goes P15, the two McLarens next. MCR's the first one who goes to the front. Crack is invalidated. Okay. Then the next one we've got is James. No, James pulling into the pits. We saw Crack invalidate. It'll be the other Ferrari then, Harin. But it is MCR to the front. He got it by 1.5 hundredths of a second.
Yeah, Harin work. Let's see to the line where he's going to go. Just going to stay. He's going to improve slightly, but going to stay P8. KMK to the line. 19.5 again, slight improvement. No position improved there. Major Falcon P3.
P3. There we go.
Bosnia Steban. Bosnia slight
improves, but it's not enough to gain
Steban
any places.
Matt, I think done as well. Yeah, so that's going to be it.
Yeah, and there we go.
MCR, another pole position. I think that's the third in a row right now. At least he got one in Britain. You have to forgive me, I don't exactly remember if he got it in Zandvoort. I think he did, but I could be mistaken there. And 15 thousandths ahead of Mr. Wouter. Them two having a slight bit of a gap to the rest of the grid, which is still unbelievably close.
Yeah, MCR, as you mentioned earlier, the man P2 in the title. He's had a P5 finish, Jeddah, a win and a fastest lap at Silverstone, and then a P3 and fastest lap again at Zandvoort. So
I think they were both pole position points.
Oh,
there.
actually, yeah, no, so you're right. So he didn't get pole position
Yeah.
at Jeddah. I forget it's done differently, isn't it? Points for both.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he picked up 31 points at Silverstone, which is exactly the way you want to do it, and another bonus pole position point here to run you quickly through the order. As mentioned, MCR is on pole. Alongside him is Mr. Wouter, 100th and a half back. Then Major Falcon, Ryan B taking up that third row. The other Red Bull Cam K championship leader just behind. Then Crack P6. Steven alongside fellow Dutchman Energetic, who are just ahead of his teammate Harin P9. Slayer P10 finishing out that top 10. Bosnia P11, James Head P12, then Flip 13, 14 Mats, Ultimate Pro, Jav, Axel, Swip on the hards, Ibo, and Sinful setting the time on the medias to finish out that grid.
Yeah, indeed. As said in Zandvoort as well, very close qualifying once again. Zandvoort, we had, I think, around the top 10, covered within 4 tenths. So good to see the competitiveness of this grid being very high. And hopefully we're going to see that crossover into the race. We definitely saw that there. And I think we even got a big DRS terrain. So it's something you don't often see in Division 3. But this is definitely the track that could once again provide that. As for strategy, you mentioned earlier on, it's a soft, a medium, and another tire usually.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there is a safety car, that could be thrown up in every sort of way possible. My personal preference was double mediums. I like the mediums a lot here. But obviously, if you have selected the softer tire allocation, you're not going to be able to do that. So you have to get double soft and maybe even use softs from qualifying. So there's definitely a sort of risk reward in terms of saving tires out in qualifying as well. Where I think someone like Mr. Wouter, we've only seen do 2 laps. I think he could have a strategic benefit. Not quite sure which one, but we're going to find that out in the race, I guess.
Yeah, looking forward to it, seeing how it all goes down. But some of the drivers shocked by the sheer pace for Division 3. I mean, a 19.2 for Division 3 is almighty fast. That is just 7 tenths behind the time set in Division 1. So here we go, formation lap now. Let's have a little look at what tyres everyone has gone for. Okay, all 3. Cam K opting for the hards. We've got 6 drivers opting for the softs, and then the remaining 13 will look on the mediums.
Yeah, MCR at the front on the softs. I'm not too surprised. Try and get away. That's the strategy here, I think, for the Spaniards, and just to build the gap. As for Cam K's hard option here, if you want to use the hards, either you want to save them out for a potential safety car, but the medium tire lifespan is pretty solid around here. So I think there is a potential that it's just this is the best strategy you could do with if you want to use the hards. Because on the formation lap you can warm them up actively, whilst if you pit onto them it's a little bit more difficult. So it's a bit of a risky strategy I think here for the Red Bull, but it could pay off. We're going to have to see.
Yeah, so my question here, who do you predict to be the race winner based on what we've seen so far? Stephen reckoned he could get a 19.0 if he wasn't blocked at the end of his quali lap, just to point that out.
Yeah, Stephen has that quite often, where he can't quite meet his potential in the actual session. Obviously blocking doesn't help in that case. As for a winner, I reckon Mr. Wouter is going to take it.
Okay, I can see that happening.
How about yourself? Do you have one?
I'll put my money on MCR, so we're split different ways and we'll see who gets this.
It's the race when someone from P12 wins it. Hello, James. You know, could do it. we're gonna see. Actually, everyone to the line. And a good start is vital here. It can be quite chaotic, then funnel into turn 1 and 2. Very narrow, and you could see a little bit of carnage here and there. Especially then to 4 and 5 as well in the second chicane. So be wary of that and try and keep your front wing intact, is my advice.
Yeah, as the drivers here now pulling into their slots. Let's hope for a less technical issue to start than the Division 1 MCR waiting on his grid box. Sinful soon to pull into the back of the grid. Starting P20. It's Harry, missing the grid box. And what an interesting swip is. Okay, Sinful's going to be disqualified for this, surely. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Swip is completely sideways. Here we go. I'm not on board with the right driver. Let's hop on board MCR. There's 5 lights are up and away they go. MCR, of course, on the soft. He's going to have the advantage, and he has got the advantage. An amazing start there by Major Falcon on the outside, though boxed in, unable to get past. No, he has squeezed his way through alongside. He's got the inside line now on MCR. Some slight contact going on between those two, but in the end it is MCR, it is our pole sister who holds on. Axel blazing through the bollards there, given a 5 second, though I think he's going to drop back and appeal to the stewards to have that removed later on. Plenty of action though still happening further on. Major Falcon still trying to fight for the lead, and he's got him up the inside. Tagged him, but still remains. Both drivers pointing forward, both wings still intact.
Yeah, a bit of a chaotic start behind as well. A few cars going left to right. The Swip has gone actually retired of the session. Collision potentially with his teammate. Both Haas cars around. And that is going to be the end of the race. No safety car for the time being. That's not great. Flip, I think, gone round in last 2 again. And he's to the back of the grid as well. So, a few drivers suffering already.
Yeah, Flip really seeming to struggle with the second Lesmos as he got further up the order. Hello, Ryan B going for the double overtake here past Crack and Camke, and he's made that work wonderfully. I wonder if that's the low downforce setup that some drivers choose to use, just letting him blaze past on the straights. But here we go, Crack now right on the back of Camke, looking to the inside right up to that white line. Nearly contact between the two, fighting over that slipstream. Ryan B trying to give it to his teammate, but it's perhaps too late. It's Crack going up the inside, tyre advantage as well, and there we go, Crack up into P6.
Yeah, good move there for RT Crack there, and get himself past the hard runner. I think that's important for him. Bit of a gap behind the Energetics.
Ooh, his Jav further down the order is off in the grass. He's off in the wall. He's just lost his front wing, losing traction in the grass. Bear in mind he was called up very, very last minute, as in I think after the race was due, after qualifying was due to start last minute. So,
yeah, goes right on being able, as we like to call that. Doesn't help with that. So yeah, he's not had much preparation. But yeah, then in last is not the way he wanted to start, obviously, either. His fellow countryman at the start, at the front of the race, definitely did want to start this way. And he's just trying to break the DRS cap to Major Falcon. And they're both burning their ERS to try and get that done. IT Crack back past Ryan B out of Ascari. Bit of a gap behind by Savota now, and the top 3 looking to get away.
Yeah, Ryan B was looking to try and get back, but it wasn't quite going to happen. Looked to the outside, wasn't there though. Although importantly, the gap between Major Falcon and MCR, it was over 1 second, now down to less than a second. DRS enabled from the next zone. It's Ryan B again to the outside, 2 by 2 here. Cam K and Energetic fighting away. Cam K does hold on. Those hard tyres serving him pretty well so far. They're being challenged on the outside of Curva Grande. I think Energetic is going to need to burn quite a bit of ERS to make this work though. Having said that,
long sides, the insides, is he going to commit? Yes he is. Cam K backing out of that one, probably pretty smart. But they're both losing a little bit of ground now, and DRS could be out of play here for the Ferrari, although for Lesmo 1 he makes up a little bit of time, and just about gets it, I think, the deck point being right around the entry point of Lesmo 2.
And actually Falcon did also pick up the DRS, importantly. So we got another yellow flag, that
Axel.
is for Flip. Again, he's gone around.
Oh, Flip as well, Axel as well, Ibo I think going off the track as well.
Oh yeah, Axel
So
actually going around again. Ibo just coming back onto the track. Kale's
we have,
further down the order.
more action. Brian B back onto the rear diffuser of the McLaren of Crack. I think with DRS this time out, this could be a pretty easy move here for the Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean, huge amount of overspeed already. I think burning ERS almost too early because it just wasn't needed. Red Bull flying huge amounts of overspeed, and Energetic, look at the speed he's got on these two, flying from behind, not enough to go for the move, but enough to make them look in their rear mirror and think, hey, you know what, I've got to watch that. That could cause me some trouble.
Good move from Mats there, getting past Harry Noirk into turn 1. He's up into P11. Got a bit of a gap to close up ahead, but if people are fighting away there, the Alpine could catch back up here.
Yeah, it's Montana saying the amount of potential with IRT Crack. Is he?
Yeah, he's a very quick driver, but just not. I don't think he has quite consistency just yet, but definitely looks like one of the quicker drivers on the field. He's getting overtaken right now by Energetics.
Ooh, nearly
and,
contact there between the two of them. Look at how close it is. Almost bump drafting him through Ascari.
Yeah, it's quite entertaining. It can help a little bit, the bump draft. Seen it a little bit before. Getting down into Parabolica, I think Energetics and Crack could potentially pass Ryan B again.
Yeah,
and this
Crack,
is a theme that you'll see a lot. It's a theme that you see a lot throughout the race. Just people swapping away and just not quite, staying in position because the DRS is just that powerful. Look at this, Energetics into P4 now. See if he can close the gap to the top 3, who are now 3 seconds away, and just look to be on another level today.
Yeah, those 3 leaders, MCR, Falcon, Walter, showing themselves the favourites here so far. Still plenty going on as further down the order, Slayer choosing to go into the pits. That is interesting this early, sticks on a set of mediums. I need to hop back on board as, oh, big mistake from Energetics, Ryan Bean to the back, and Crack not making the most of it there. You'd have thought after going so wide.
Waiting it out in that case, not trying to cause too many issues either at the same time. I think it's the fall process there, but he wants to overtake Ryan B now.
Hello, that Mercedes having a massive moment there. James Head catching it though. Avoiding going into the walls further up the order. We've got Bosnia, Kamke side by side. Kamke, of course, the one driver starting on the hards, and Bosnia getting through beautifully. Times the brake well, and was that a Red Bull going round I saw? It was Ryan B making a mistake, not going all the way around, but enough for Crack to get
losing
through.
Another position as well. There's constant action here, and I think the softs at the front are starting to drop off a little bit for MCR. So that's the one to keep an eye out on as well, to see if Major Falcon and Mr. Wouter are going to capitalize on that action. We have yellow flags as Flip Damstrom has gone round and retired, and we have a safety car.
Okay, right, so the question is, does, Harry and Ultimate immediately coming into the pits? That is sensible from those two.
I think everyone is going to pit. I don't see a reason for anyone to stay out here. The question is, are you going to pit once or twice?
Yeah, actually, you could get your mandatory 2 stops both done under safety car.
I mean, you'd have to go into hards though, and track position is definitely not going to be key with that. Or well, it can hurt you quite a lot there. And in case there's, I guess, is there going to be another safety car? Because if you put yourself onto hards, you drop positions throughout the grid, and there's another safety car, then you've kind of messed up at that point. But as it stands, it's going to be very interesting. As for Kamke, you might think he's on hards. He's just going to do the same what a soft runner would do at this point.
Yeah. And actually that was the risk he took, wasn't it? But of course the chaos, still 18 cars on track at Monza. A few drivers shown to be prone to making mistakes. The risk of another safety car down the line is fairly high.
Let's see if anyone decides to gamble differently. I would highly doubt it. Especially with 2 stops to go.
Hello, look at that, Falcon. Cheeky man. He goes speeding in the pit lane.
That's... he tried this before Britain and successfully that time, but this time, without speeding, that's not ideal. And Yeah, we're gonna see different people going onto different tires. MCR onto mediums, Falcon onto hards, softs for Ryan B. So we're seeing a big mix of tires. A couple hards, a couple mediums, a couple of softs. This is gonna be very entertaining.
Yeah, I think Falcon's going to feel like a right fool for that one. Putting on the hard tyres.
Harnowark might be jumping a couple positions here due to double stacks here. Yep, he's going to be ahead of James Head. He was down in P12 for the pit stops, so he's getting a couple positions there.
Montana saying when you order Vettel on Wish. Yeah, I can agree with that one. I think Falcon's essentially going to be forced to the pit this next time around to get rid of this 5-second penalty as soon as he can. For a second he would have been thinking he was the smartest man on track and then would have felt like an absolute fool for that one, but of course still plenty of time left in the race to redeem himself, but he's going to drop an awful lot of positions when he serves that stop go. Yeah,
another interesting thing is going to be do people pit for a second time? Obviously you're looking at, well, definitely RT Crack, Major Falcon maybe with his penalty, now not. I think Crack is looking to use those hards, unless he's just trying to use the pit onto a different tire, but I'm not quite sure. Mediums to the end would be a very brave choice, but it's a long haul. I'm not quite sure if he's going to pit. Everyone else could pit. If the decision is going to be to do that, we'll have to see.
Yeah, Falcon I think the most likely of any of them to go into the pits. I'll admit, strategy wise you are a wiser head than me, so you'll know better what these drivers are thinking, what they're planning on doing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think if you pit it onto softs, you're either looking for a short-term gain, especially around this track, or you're looking to pit it another time. So I think soft runners are the ones we might need to look out for a double stop. We're seeing Falcon stay out. We're seeing Steven go in.
As
so
is.
He wants to.
There was another driver there,
Bosnia.
wasn't enough attention.
Yeah. Bosnia's gone in. Seen anyone else?
Sinful.
He wasn't hard, so this will be the last time they are going to be able to pit. I think everyone's going to catch up now to it.
Jav going slow, interestingly.
He is going to pit as well.
Is he just...
That was very
speeding.
Cool.
That looks
that
fast.
almost looked like it, right?
I'm gonna watch that back on stream. I could have sworn he sped into the pit lane. He might have just timed it to absolute perfection there. But sticking on a set. Oh, hello.
That's not ideal. And he's gonna have to pit again, so he's not gonna be able to get that removed, unfortunately, with the steward. But yeah, Steban and Bosnia are the ones pitting onto hards, as well as Sinful to mediums and Jav onto hards. At this point, if you've pitted twice, you're gonna have to try to go to the end if there's no more safety cars. I think that's the risk you're gonna go for. Whether it's gonna pay off, I don't know. You're gonna be a bit further behind the track position, maybe slower cars ahead of you. It's maybe not ideal to be here, but maybe in the long term it could pay out dividends.
Yeah, as Montana in the chat mentioning pit assist on. Would that have?
Maybe. They should not be on, so if that's the case, then there's a slight mess up in the lobby settings. We're gonna have a quick look actually, if it don't get glitched out.
Yeah, I thought he was blitzing into the pit lane, there's no way he doesn't get a penalty, and then not the case. So the safety car is going to go around for another. It'll be end of lap 9 when the race gets underway. 18 laps of green flag, or well, of potential green flag. No, it's this lap. My goodness, that is late. Okay.
That's a very late call. Okay, well, I think everyone's going to be started by that one.
Yeah, I certainly am.
Seeing some swaps there between Ryan B and Crack. Watch out, no one went yet, so that was a bit
into the pits.
chaotic there.
Serving it now. Yeah.
I guess serving it. A little bit chaotic there on the restart. Seeing multiple side-by-side action, nearly 4 white in the background there. And one of the Alpines, Matt's deep on the brakes.
Ooh, contact there. There's an Aston Martin.
Yeah, he's going to get sent back. Slayer's gone round, I think. Indeed, that's the Aston Martin you're on about. Quite a few shockers there, but it looks like mostly clean, apart from Slayer then.
Yeah, it's still side by side here. Mats and Axel. Mats with the inside line and gets himself up into that P9 position.
It's going to be very interesting because these hard runners are probably hoping for another safety car. I can't imagine anything else. Medium runners will probably continue on with their normal strategy. With I think Energetics and Wouter were on the mediums to begin with. MCR is probably doing a soft medium, I'd imagine. It's gonna cause some interesting dynamics throughout the entire grid, I think.
So here we go, MCR right on to the tail of Falcon here. He's looking for the move. He had it down to just over a tenth, and oh hello, the amount of grip he had on the inside line immediately threw into the lead before they've even started going down the straight. Still coming out the exit parabolica, but here comes Mr. Wouter.
Yeah, it's going to be nearly 3 wide down towards turn 1. Who's going to get better here? MCR's going to stay ahead, but Mr. Wouter is going to take that P2. Falcon trying to stay alongside, but not quite able to on those harder tires. And he's down into P3 with now the McLaren of Crack right ahead, right behind him. But look at the ERS; he's already burned down to 30%, and he's still burning to try and get past Major Falcon. Looking for the inside here. Late move. Only his wheel alongside. A little bit of contact there. And that's going to not help either of them. Still side by side down towards Lesmo 1. This time Crack is going to get ahead, but not quite the cleanest bit of racing there. And it's going to bunch up all behind here as well. Look at this train all the way down to the Red Bulls. This could be quite chaotic here as well, as James is getting alongside Harry Noir for P8. Yeah,
these two battling for P8, as you said, and that looks a fairly clean cut move by James Head up into P8 there. Just had the tyre advantage, got the right exit he needed. Very nicely done. DRS not yet enabled though. That will be at the start, well actually halfway through lap 11. Ryan B on the back of Major Falcon here. Just not want to be held up by the hard runner while he's on the fresh softs. He wants to stay on the back of this lead group and try and actually catch up, because Crack, of course, in the heart has fallen off the front to MCR Mr. Wouter, pulling away now. 2 seconds already from just one lap of the restart, but let's see, do we get any moves down into turn 1? The two Red Bulls looking spicy. Ooh. Ryan B up the inside of Major Falcon. Has he made the move stick? Yes, he has. Has Camke made the move stick? Yes, he has. The two Red Bulls showing the Mercedes cars up.
Yeah, and I think it's only a matter of time before James is going to get past as well, as Energetic is getting past Crack here, then towards turn 4. Crack already low in ERS and not quite able to burn. Energetic's got that pace. And he's going to have to catch the top 2 now, 1.7. A little bit of a gap to do, but it's certainly not impossible.
Yeah, well of course that gap has already come down. It was 2 seconds, now 1.8, although with the DRS helping Mr. Wouter, that's going to make it even harder for Energetic to catch up. Puts him on a threat from behind. Crack on the hard tyres is still right in his tail, actually lifting there in the braking zone. Doesn't want to go for the move quite smartly, I think. Has compromised himself slightly though by being so close in the braking zone. James Head on his teammate, the soft tyres. This looks fairly clean cut.
Yeah, and Falcon giving that one up. Yeah. So Falcon dropping all the way from P1 to P8 in a matter of a few laps. And his heart's not working out for him too well. Better they are for Crack, although he's used a lot of ERS. He's obviously maintained track position and getting back ahead of Energetics here. Both Red Bulls still close behind each other. I wonder what the game is going to be there, as James is getting close to the back of Camke here as well.
Yeah, but of course Crack and Energetic fighting away, but once Crack gets overtaken by Energetic and the Red Bulls can have a go at him while they're still on the fresher softs, they're going to be very, very tricky for him to get back past, especially with DRS coming soon. I think it is this lap, this next DRS zone when it first kicks in. I will admit I was not looking, but unlikely to see a lead change. Quite possible we're going to see Energetic go for something. There we go, DRS 150 meters. Is he going to get the move done? He's a long way back.
Yeah, there's no way down towards the Scari that's going to be the case. Be quite an audacious one, to say the least, to try and do that. I think you're better off just waiting for the main straight, not lose any time. As it's going to a little bit wide on the exit of Scari, losing a bit of ground there. Ryan B now lurking to try and set up a move on him as well. They're all closing up down towards the McLaren. I think down towards turn 1, this McLaren is going to be very vulnerable. Although he's got a good exit, so he might have saved himself a little bit there. And Ryan B looking for a move.
Yeah, Crack very, very confident on his hards at the moment. Energetic having to defend from Ryan B, but Ryan B going to the inside, but blocked in by Crack. Energetic, very smart placement of his car there, using the McLaren ahead to get a move done, but he's lost traction on exit, and he's lost out to Ryan B. I suspect he's going to lose out to Cam K as well on the inside. Both Red Bulls getting past the Ferrari, and oh my goodness, what is going on here?
4 cars basically
Energetic's
all
got them, they're 3 wide. Delaroche Kane, who's going to get it in the end? The McLaren, the first one through, side by side. All of a sudden, there's some Mercedes involved here.
Yeah, James trying to get alongside as well. He's waiting out a bit deep there for one of the Red Bulls, that's Ryan B. Just about makes the corner without hitting another car. Of course, there's lost him a lot of ground, but good amount of battling, and I'm very impressed that no major contact anyway was made.
Yeah, and Crackby loving this because he can pull away on his hard tyres, and the longer they're on this stint, the better. The more they're fighting, the better for him as that tyre wear is higher. But my goodness, what action! All drivers getting through safe and healthily, cars in one piece.
It's absolutely amazing. We have a train all the way down to P13, which is Bosnia, actually on his heart.
Oof.
Sitting back here, relaxing, not trying to do too much. Here comes Cam K on the back of his teammate, and I don't think Ryan B is wanting to fight that one too much. Cam K with a lot of ERS. It's important. Mr. Wouter in the meantime going for a move on the lead and getting that one done. So he's now in P1. Again, a lot of ERS for him as well. Can be quite vital here towards the end, definitely. You see Mats and Bosnia side by side. Bosnia nearly getting pushed off a little bit there by Mats. And losing a bit of ground. Cam K is definitely on the attack right away. And on the back of the Ferrari here. Getting alongside on the softs. Later on the brake, still side by side down in towards turn 4. Energetics keeping alongside.
Nearly
Risky
contact
there
there,
for the Ferrari. And he's losing another spot there. Yeah, there was some sort of contact there. I think Energetics, he was kind of half-hearted there, and that just lose him out in that sense. He wasn't fully alongside.
James had another mistake there. His teammate might try and get past him here. His teammate has got past him. DRS hopefully to save him there. There's Stephen side by side with Sinful towards Ascari. Sinful nearly going completely over the curb there. Might picked up a warning for that one. As Ryan B does pick up 3 warnings and 3 seconds of time penalties.
Yeah, it can be done quite easily. Obviously, you have very little downforce anyway. It's a bit easier to make a mistake every now and then, and that probably is going to cause for a few penalties. I'm surprised it hasn't for more. James had back through his teammate. Major Falcon not fighting that, looking for the long run.
Crack has escaped this train. This is all panned out beautifully for him. 4 seconds off the lead
way
there.
Too deep. Oh, Sinful. I was on board with Steve and Sinful side by side. Sinful's just gone way too deep. Hit Harry Mark off track. It's gone through actually. And that is not pretty whatsoever. James had also making a mistake at some point. I don't know exactly how that happened. I don't think he was affected by this anymore. But he's down in P9, P10. Stephen gets through as well. Sinful now going around.
Losing the car through that chicane there. Stephen into the back of him. Somehow no front wing falling off the car. There's a Mercedes on the inside there. Where's the Mercedes going to slot into? Side by side with Mats on the inside. And who's going to get it in the end? James struggling to find his way back into the queue. He has done it in the end. By slightly shouldering past that Ferrari. But these guys very much looking for a fight. Look at the speed Harrin has down the straight here. Inside into Ascari.
Oh, Sinful and Steban and
hello, there's a car in the wall there,
round.
Bosnia. Oh, it's Mats, not Bosnia, sorry, my bad.
A lot going on. Steban and Sinful making contact for Ascari, and in behind, Mats on his own just spins. And he's gone, he's down at P14, just ahead of Jav now. So a lot of chaos right now going on. Sinful seems to be the instigator of that a little bit here. I can't lie on that. He has broken away from this train now. James has decided to opt for a second pit stop now.
Yeah, here we go for P9 contact there. He's got a car on his inside and his outside, but in the end Bosnia does come out on top. The Alpine almost pushing him through the corner there. Aaron looking for the move on Steve. Okay. Excuse me, I'm fending off silent hiccups at the moment. Which are luckily silent,
right.
but...
In the meantime, Matt's obviously pitting now as well. I think a wing change for him. Sinful picked up a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, Kamke has dragged himself, Ryan B and Energetics back into the DRS of Crack. And showing that his race pace is definitely something to write home about. The back of Crack now, then the inside, he's going to go for it into Scary. Crack backing off smartly, I think.
Oh, no, you say that. No,
he's got
contact.
back alongside Kamke, and Kamke has gone round into the wall. Wing damage, definitely. Ooh, championship leader going to lose some vital points here, I think.
Somehow, I don't think he actually lost his wing. He might have some light yellow damage.
Yeah, I saw something came off. Yeah.
Oh yeah, front left his M plate's missing. You are right.
Yeah. So the damage doesn't seem to be too heavy. He's gonna go in though, no surprise. And give himself a nuke from wing probably as well. Ryan B could pass Crack in the meantime, so he's up to P3. You've seen Harry work do something absolutely outrageous. I'm not quite sure what that was about.
Yeah.
I tried to avoid Bosnia, I think. I hope it didn't cause Bosnia any damage. Ryan B getting re-overtaken by Crack now, who's back into P3. So much going on, I'm not quite sure. But Heinemark, I think he was in the battle, locked up the brakes, had to try to cut the inside to avoid all cars, and might have collected Bosnia. I hope the Williams doesn't have any major damage anyway, though.
There's all this time. MCR choosing to not go past Mr. Walter, and those two just flying away. I mean, they've got 6 seconds down to this group that are fighting here. They're not going to make it to the end of the race, but they'll just be able to swap onto a pair of softs right near the end, make that work well for them. There's a yellow further down. I think that's just Ibo going slightly off.
Maybe. We've seen these three for P3 still very close together.
And all on different tyre compounds.
Soon. Yeah, Ryan B's gone in. So obviously 10 laps on the softs is quite enough for him. Major Falcon in as well. Getting a different set of tyres on for him. Energetics in a Crack side by side down towards turn 1.
Oh my goodness, they were close.
Contact with the wheel, but
cars interlocking
to be fine.
slightly.
In the meantime, mediums for both Ryan B and Major Falcon. I'm curious where James is going to end up in the midst of all of this, because of the chaos, him being in clean air is going to have helped quite a lot. And he's going to jump his teammate at least.
Well, yeah, he's jumped a lot of them who pitted.
Energetics and Crack are still in the battle here, down towards the Lesmo 1. So, again, so much action. Energetics, Crack still down towards Lesmo 2. Energetics backing out of this one, but I don't think it's over, because he's going to get the DRS and try and get back pass through, although down towards turn...
No, I reckon he's going to go for it. He's near enough.
Oh, he might, honestly.
Tenth
he might,
and a half.
to the outside. Yeah, Crack backing out of that one. And thinking enough, Steban getting past Bosnia. We have to remember, those two are potentially in a net race lead. Let's have a quick look at the gap between the top guys and these two, which are around 16 seconds. Now pit stop here will cost you over 20 seconds, as MCR is going to pit. And we're going to see exactly what it's going to go on to. How far is he going to go behind those two hard runners, and how much ground's he going to have to make up?
Yeah, Energetics in as well. But Crack, if he chooses not to pit, he could be in very strong position, as you mentioned, in the hard runners, potentially going to the end. That could be a remarkably strong strategy, but if there is a later safety car, well, if there's a safety car after everyone else has already pitted, that works out very well for them, as everyone wants to stick on a fresh set of softs for that final mad dash. Steve.
Sticking on softs is Energetics. Going down MP10 currently. You have to remember, Sinful, he could, if he can drag those mediums to the ends, he could be in for a shout here. He's got a 3-second penalty, it's not going to help him. But he's in for a strong result here. MCS come out 7.5 seconds behind Steban, so he's got some ground to make up, which is about a second a lap, but it's definitely possible on fresh tyres.
Yeah, at the moment, the action dulled down a little bit as some drivers pitting, others not yet going for their stops, and still the question of strategy. Do you try and stick out your current tyres to the end, or do you pit, you wait and hope for another safety car? The other option to come into play, but for the moment Stephen on the back of Bosnia, not able to do much. These two potentially, they don't want to be fighting too much. They want to be doing the most with what they've got, especially if they don't plan on pitting Mr. Wilder coming into the pits now.
Yep, he's going to go on to a set of softs.
Yep.
So him doing something different compared to MCR. Don't know if he's aware of it, but he's definitely... it's going to be interesting to see which of them is going to be ahead. MCR currently now being the one in front, undercut his helps. Steven and Bosnia, I think have made contact. Bosnia had gone round at least.
Yeah, Bosnia's going across that first chicane. What's happened there?
He's got a 3-second time penalty there as well. So MCR is going to get past Axel there on the exit. Yeah, there must have been some sort of action. Steven now in what could be a net lead, sliding away a lot there for turn 4 actually. High in the gears.
Well, Steven's tyres only 1 lap younger than Crack's.
True. Crack still has if I'm not mistaken, he still has a second stop to make. So obviously with that mandatory 2 stop.
Oh, you're right actually. Yeah, no, he does still have 1 stop to make that he has to make.
Yeah, him and Axel both have to do that. I think Axel's going to be in pretty soon, potentially for a soft set. Crack, I hope he is aware of the rule. Otherwise, it's going to be a very weird way to finish the race. Ryan B getting past Jav here, and Jav. Sitting it out on those hards, he's put himself back into a position where there's points available at least. And Crack has realised it.
He's in. He's got 7 laps left after this one, so surely onto the softs. We'll hop on board with him and see. Yeah, he's got a set of softs waiting for him. But,
Sinful taking the lead is not something I would have predicted. He started last after only doing a lap on Inters.
Yep.
He's currently...
Maybe the practice on Inter's coming into play.
Top 2, at least right now, looking at the top 2, Mr. Wout again past Bosnia, who with that 3-second time penalty, I'm not sure if that's removable. Obviously, if there was contact, if there was something going on, we don't know exactly. Didn't quite catch it. But there's obviously potential still for him to be in a good position. He's got Ryan B, Energetics potentially catching. Beyond that, should be relatively safe. So. Still top 10 result for the Williams there.
Yeah, drivers quite big spread at the moment. There's no one massively off the field. Actually, Ibo potentially about to challenge Haring down towards turn 1. These 2 Italian cars close together as Energetics has had a moment on the exit as Lesmo's too. Mimicking Flip does keep it going in the end. Actually, I think so is Slayer's had a problem as well there. But here we go, Ibo looking to the inside. The Delaro chicane doesn't go for the move in the end, braking nice and early, remaining piece 17. Yeah. These two not yet fighting for points, but
not right now, but only one person has to crash. Is MCR has managed his way to crawl his way up to Steven and get past, so these mediums working out well for him. It's now up to Mr. Wout to try and capitalize on that.
Yes, Ibo has got himself through. I have missed it. Oh no, the side by side, this 2 towards the Ascari. Ibo actually slightly cut in the inside there, and I think as a result, letting Haring back through, feeling bad about an off-track overtake. But these 2 seem to be giving each other a good fight further down the order. Right, what other action have we got going on? Crack is defending down in P. Actually, no, there's no way he's defending. He's on fresh soft tyres. He's flying further down in P7.
Just got past Jav, and looking at the front of the race, MCR. Already alongside Sinful, already past Sinful.
Yeah, MCR currently looking the favourite for the win. And here comes Steven on his old hard tyres.
Mr. Wout is one I want to mention, as Sinful's like a very weird line there. And Tascari is going to hold up the Dutchman, but he's going to be able to get through, I think. On the softs, is he going to be able to be quicker than the medium tyre there? There's not that much difference between them at times, but
come the end of the race, the soft's going to be hurting.
Yeah, he's going to have to get himself up there. Obviously, Steven, I mean, if he can hang on to DRS, you never know what can happen. I don't think he's completely out of it. Not an ideal position, but definitely is still looking to try and
here we go, James on Jav for P8. That's the fresh mediums against the older hard tyres, and that has happened nice and early, very long time before the braking zone there. Oh, hello. Yeah, there's a Ferrari there all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that was a bit too much from the Ferrari. It was very late in the race, nearly recreated Hamilton Verstappen there in 2021. So make the Falcons now capitalize on that and go through. Energetic trying to get himself involved back into P9.
A little bit off onto the grass. You know what? Oh no! I was going to say he's made it work. He's not. He spun himself around, and now he's just stopped in the middle of the track. Are you aware you are ghosted? There's a gap. Is he not going to go? If he's not beached, he's going to get disqualified if he's not careful for waiting for too long.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure because this is just losing in points as well. So it's a very odd choice to just do this.
Yeah, disqualified. Well, it's going to happen if he waits any longer.
Hope it doesn't cause a safety car either, because that's just
that is
a
good
little bit
point.
weird there.
Right, does this bring out a last-minute safety car? That is the all-important question. And the answer is looking like no at the moment.
Nope, and that's going to mean we have just under 4 laps remaining. And Mr. Wouter is now on the back of MCR, got past Seban. And I think these two are going to find it out for the win. ARP2 picks at the start of the race, so not too shabby from us, I think.
Yeah.
But we're going to see how that's going to go. Other fights going on. Crack is still going to be trying to get maybe a P4. I think that's a realistic target for him with the penalties up ahead.
Yeah, especially with the penalties. You can see that actually Bosnia on 6 seconds, as is Jav and Ultimates, the rest of them all on 3 seconds. But everyone who had 5 seconds has served it, or retired. I don't know if anyone retired with a 5 second still on their head. But Harrying into the pit further down the order. Presumably fastest lap hunting.
Yep, but not quite able to get the point for it anyway. At least if he doesn't finish top 15. You have to catch a lot of time onto the Alfa Romeos potentially. So
actually, his crack is right on the back of Bosnia.
Yep. So I reckon he waits till the straight.
Yeah.
So he gets the DRS and doesn't get re-overtaken anyway.
He's got the DRS now, so he can go for the move before the straight even starts. Burning ERS, which is the more interesting thing. Surprised he's not saving that for later on battles, but Bosnia cutting back to the inside. And hello. You'd expect Crack to have the more speed here with the DRS and not able to fight it on those hard tyres. He's trying to, he's made contact, but I think that's just unnecessary battling from Bosnia. There was no way he was going to hold that position. He knows he's got those 6 seconds of time penalties.
I think you're just losing yourself time at that point, and still doing that here as well.
Yeah, he's off on the grass now, look at that.
Yeah, gonna have to calm it down a little bit there.
Running deep and off into the distance goes Crack there. Bosnia fancy the battle but not fighting with his head.
I think we have to keep an eye out on this battle for P1 though, because Mr. Wouter right on the back of MCR. 2 laps to go, and it's a strategic game here. Do you want to sit ahead or do you want to stay behind? Especially considering the tyre difference as well.
Yeah.
I see some interesting dynamics. As
Crack.
Ooh, that's going to hurt him a little bit.
That's going to cost him a position. But I thought normally you'd think you want to go for the move at the start of lap 27 down into turn 1. You can defend from there.
Get yourself in that position.
Well, yeah, he's got to be near enough to get that move done first, and at the moment he is not, although I haven't said that, he is now, by the end of the straight, actually lifting and coasting at the end there. Almost not breaking enough at the end because of it. Ryan B, though, further down, is going to get the move done on Sinful. I've missed that one because I pressed the wrong button on my controller. But there we go, Ryan B is up into P4. And these two able to fight, especially able to fight more now. They know Crack is not going to get them having his own penalty.
Yeah, this could be quite a feisty battle at the front as well. I think we're looking. Mr. Wouter is just sitting behind.
As further down, Slayer past Ibo.
Yeah, for the final point currently. Potentially has 2 points. As Steven picked up in 3 seconds, fully putting him out of contention. But maybe being careful to the back as well. Having a look there.
Right, so here we go. I expect Wouter to start to mount his charge, start burning his ERS a little bit. He's not just yet. You can see closing down onto the back. He needs the best exit he can possibly get out of Parabolica. Harron picking up fastest lap. We knew he was hunting for it. There's James getting some penalties there, and he's not got the best exit here as well. Struggling perhaps a little bit on the tyres, but ERS, DRS soon to come. This is the move for the lead. This is the move that matters.
I'm surprised MCR's not fighting this. Is he going to wait till Ascari? Is he going to try to get it done there?
Possibly. I mean, I'd say that MCR's got better tyres at the moment, so possibly thinking, you know what,
yeah,
I'll do the Delaware chicane, I'll do the two Lesmos, and I'll get him back into Ascari. But already that gap up to over half
and
second.
Bouter has more ERS as well, so Bouter does have some to defend with. This is going to be wild down towards Ascari. We're going to have to see who gets this chicane better. MCR looks to get a better exit there. Spuro getting a penalty, not quite relevant for the fight at the front. For Lesmo 1 and down towards 2 to go now. We're going to see if MCR has anything to bring into. The ERS is on there for both
Better
of them.
exit though for Mr. Walter, gaining a 10th there. Is it enough for MCR? No, it's not, is it? Now he's to save his ERS for the final braking zone into Parabolica, but he's not done that. I mean, he's got more speed here. Look at the difference. He just needs to have the grip. But the ERS is on the side of Mr. Walter. Mr. Walter looking like he's going to win the Italian Grand Prix AlphaTauri at Monza. Only been a couple of years since that last happened. But here we go now towards the line. It is Mr. Walter. Yeah, it was close to getting a warning there, wasn't it? Mr. Walter.
He might have got one.
At Monza, and there we go. Wins the Italian Grand Prix. MCR just behind. A horde of drivers with penalties behind, but Stephen picking up that final podium position. Ryan P4 crack in the end, only able to get P5, but still a decent result. Sinful P6 after qualifying on the Inters. P7 for Bosnia, P8 for James Head, but not if Major Falcon has anything to say about that. It's him and Cam K moving up to P7 and P8 due to the penalties of others. Jav P12 because Axel's going to jump him as Axel goes across the line a little bit sideways. Matt's, Matt's, yeah, actually.
And then it's just Ultimate, Slayer, Ibo and Harnoark still at the back.
Ultimate's not going to finish in the points though. There's a Tarek saying those pens are getting removed. I was hit twice. I do not know which driver Tarek is.
That is Bosnia. So definitely one we saw something happen with Steban anyway. So we might see some action still there. We're going to have to see. But
it's Slayer P14. Ibo will get 15th as his teammate at 9 seconds of penalty, and then Harin, the last man, is he going to get another fastest lap? No, he's not. He's already burned up all his ERS, but Harin did get the fastest lap in the end. Here we go. Yeah, timing that just right for. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. The AlphaTauri driver.
Mr. Walter.
Mr. Walter, there we go. The second you said it. He was the driver you predicted to win this race, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there we go. Mr. Walter, top step of the podium. And where is he in the standings? Or is he... Yeah, he's P12. His best result was I've moved all my stuff. It was a P6 last week. Actually didn't even race round 1 or round 2, so moving in the right direction. MCR though looking good. He's had a lot of very strong results. His 3rd podium of the season. Final podium spot going to Stephen, who himself did pick up a 2nd place in the first round. But a quick rundown of the order once again. It is Walter with the win, MCR with P2, and Stephen picking up that 3rd place, the all-important podium points. Then Ryan B P4, Crack P5, Sinful P6 from the back of the grid. Major Falcon P7 from 3rd on the grid. He moved down, as did Cam K, our championship leader, who probably still leads the championship given the gap he had, but less so now. Bosnia P9, although he reckons penalties will be removed. James Head P10, then Axel and Matt's 11-12. Jav and Slayer to Aston Martin's 13-14. Ibo picking up the last point. Ultimate P16, Harin fastest lap in P17, then Energetic, Flip and Swip all DNFing this race.
Frolic race there. Just all around a lot of action. Difficult to follow.
Yeah.
Not quite the cleanest driving standards, I'd have to comment on that. I think there were certain points where you know, it was a bit reckless, a bit over the top at times. So hoping that for the next race they'll be a bit better.
Yeah, well, there were some very good overtakes, there were some very aggressive overtakes, and there were some very silly attempts at overtakes. The stewards, I'm sure, will have good fun looking at. But of course, I've done stewarding in the past. It's always nice when someone absolutely sends it because it's such a clear-cut penalty. You know they're getting done for it. So it makes your life simple as a steward, even if you wish the racing standards were better. But to do the quick bit of mental maths to see where the standings are, I want to work out the points. How much of a lead does Kamke still have? Kamke finishing P8, of course, provisionally. P8 will pick him up further 10 points, bringing him up to 95 points after the first 3 rounds. MCR, though, picking up his P2. Well, that gives him 25 more points.
Another one for the pole position, obviously, so it's 26.
Oh, yeah, 26 points, actually. MCR and his pole positions seem to happen quite a lot. That puts him on... Oh no, that's also 95 points, right? I think they're tied. I think both MCR and Kamke are provisionally on 95 points. I say provisionally because I think Bosnia will move up the order a little bit, which will drop Kamke down a couple of points, which actually might mean that MCR is the champion on 95, or the current championship leader on 95 with Kamke on 93. But either way, very, very close among the top two, really reeling it in here after 4 rounds.
Yeah, and next week out we have a race in Singapore. This will be a sprint format. Just to give a reiteration of that, the sprint grid will be determined by the reverse championship order as long as the drivers in question have attended the race before. Hopefully it's very easy otherwise to get a pole position. So everyone, I think bar California, currently would be just be fine for that. And then obviously the sprint results determine the race grid, which is obviously done in the game. So got a bit of an exciting new format to look forward to, and that'll be quite entertaining.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. Points for the top 12, as I can't remember if you mentioned or not, but it should be very, very good seeing how that all plays out. And of course, a long stream, more battling to happen, and also a sprint race at Singapore does mean plenty of front wings to be lost, which is always interesting from the commentator's perspective, adding that extra bit of flair, that extra strategy, that spanner in the works to the drivers. But I look forward to that in a week's time. I think, anything to say on that race?
I reckon we'll see a lot more action there, and yeah, hopefully this championship fight continues.
Yeah, it does seem to be Kamke and MCR cementing themselves at the top so far. Both of them now with triple podiums, 3 podiums apiece after just 4 rounds. Kamke, 2 of them being wins. MCR a first, a second, and a third. So those two really cemented themselves, especially MCR with his consistent qualifying. Shown himself to be a bit of a Vettel in terms of just qualifies well, races well. If he's at the top, you can't do much to stop him. But yeah, I think, unless you've got anything else to say, I shall end the stream here.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Alright, well then, thank you guys for watching. Join and watch Division 1 and 2 in a week's time. Rejoin us in a week's time at Singapore for the sprint race in Division 3. I do wonder, actually, how long is the sprint race going to take? I.e., will you still be racing in Division 1 when Division 3 wants to be starting?
No, because as there's no qualifying, it kind of replaces that sort of time. So that's all will unfold out.
Nice, that is good news. I won't have to worry about you joining part way through. Okay, well, simplifies things. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.